To Montague High School, sports fans, where tonight the Montague Wildcats once again return to home court action as they entertain the visiting Oakridge Eagles. The Wildcats are sporting a 12-1 overall record, 8-1 in the West Michigan Conference, while the Oakridge Eagles enter tonight's contest at 11-4. 3 of those losses have come into conference play, while 7 victories have been chalked up against West Michigan Conference opponents. Oakridge and Montague, both in the thick of things in the West Michigan Conference. Montague on top by themselves, of course, by the virtue of their victory over Whitehall 2 weeks ago. And of course, Oakridge with the 3 losses in the conference is still in the hunt. My name, Larry Lindquist, Assistant Superintendent, Montague Schools, and with me tonight in the booth is Mr. Jeff Peterson, NBC Middle School teacher and coach. Welcome back to the booth, Jeff. We should have an exciting game here tonight.
Oh, I think it's going to be a great game, Larry. If it's anything like the first game was between these two teams, and I suspect it will be, it'll be just a crowd pleaser from the get-go.
I'm sure you're right. The game down there was exciting, as you said, and it was a close game. Close all the way through until late in the 4th quarter when Montague pulled it out. I think they won by 6 or 8 points, but it was in doubt until late in the game. So we're in for a treat, I'm sure.
Well, both of these teams play a lot alike. They full court pressure, just tough man-to-man defense. They got some height inside in which they try to push the ball into, and there's going to be some key matchups in there tonight. I think are going to be a telltale story for one or the other of the two teams.
Well, Oakridge comes into the contest with an impressive statistic. One of the few times that the Cats are going to find themselves on the short end of a statistic in this season. That is, the Oakridge Eagles are scoring at a 79 points per game average, and that compares with the Wildcats 69 points per game. So that the Eagles on paper are 10 points above us.
Well, Neil Beckwith came in 3 years ago, and they didn't win many ball games, but he got his team playing his type of basketball, and this is what the fruit of the whole thing is tonight. They come in here highly ranked, an excellent ball team. They can match up with anybody in this conference, and they've just been playing excellent basketball as of late.
The Oakridge Eagles are going to be starting 3 seniors tonight and 2 juniors. They have 2 starters in double figures for the season, and that's Mike Benedict, who averages almost 14 points a game, and Robert Sparrow, who is, that's 3 players in double figures. Robert Sparrow at 16 points a game and Bubba Raymond at 10. So they have some big scorers. We also have three players in double figures, so it could prove to be very interesting. Jeff, we're going to go down to the court right now where pregame festivities are about to begin with the playing and the singing of our national anthem. And tonight our national anthem is going to be sung by 4 White Lake area residents in a quartet: Dave Dunbar, Rich Weeses, Greg Beans, and Carl Benton, with their rendition of the Star Spangled Banner.
Dave Dunbar, Carl Benton, Greg Beans, and Richard Weeses.
What so proudly we hailed at the time
The national anthem is sung by 4 White Lake area residents and carrying on the fine tradition of pregame national anthem renditions. We appreciate their assistance with tonight's contest. Now the starting lineups for tonight's contest. Starting at one guard, number 12, junior, 5'10", 145-pound Tracy Rule. Starting at the other guard, number 22, a senior, 5'10", 155 pounds, Greg Guzman. Starting at one forward, number 30, a 6'1", 165 pound senior, Mike Benedict. Starting at the other forward, 6'3" senior, 180 pounds, number 42, Robert Sparrow. And starting at center, number 44, a junior, 6'6", 180 pounds, Bubba Raymond. And of course, as Mr. Peterson mentioned a minute ago, the Eagles are coached by Mr. Neil Beckwith in his 3rd season with the Eagles. Now for the Wildcats, starting at one guard, number 30, junior, 5'10", 165-pound Eric Webb. Sophomore at the other guard, number 20, 6 foot 0 inches, 135 pounds, number 20, Scott Lindquist. At one forward, number 42, junior, 6'1", 155-pound Mark Schneider. At the other forward, number 34, junior, 6'4", 165-pound Doug Schlaff. Starting at center, number 44, senior, 6'3", 190-pound Rob Smith. And the Wildcats are coached by Mr. Jim Tate, also in his 3rd season with the Wildcats. The officials for tonight's game, Mr. Jim McLean, and no, that's not, I'm sorry. I guess I'm not going to be able to tell you.
Mr. Johnny Robinson.
Johnny Robinson.
And I can't remember the other gentleman's name right now.
Johnny Robinson on the near side. The Oakridge Eagles out at center court, ready for the tip-off. And we're about to get this West Michigan Conference contest underway. The Eagles, keep in mind, are 7-3 in the conference. They've played one more game than have the Wildcats. The Wildcats are 8-1. 8-1. Wildcats returning home after a couple of games on the road here. Last Tuesday, of course, they were victorious, and the previous Friday as well. Doug Schlaff controls the tip, goes back to junior Eric Webb across the timeline, setting up the first play of the night for the Wildcats. Looking to the right, there's Schlaff on the right-hand side. Inside look, nothing there, back out to Rob Smith. Rob Smith up for the first shot, and it's partially blocked by number 44, but he draws the foul on the play. Bubba Raymond, Jeff.
Well, and Bubba Raymond's going to be a key matchup for the Wildcats tonight. In the earlier game, he came off the bench, and I think he ended up being the leading scorer for them. And since that time, he's got a lot of playing time.
Rob Smith at the Wildcat line, shooting 76% from the line this year. Good on the first attempt tonight, and the Wildcats take a 1-point lead, breaking the plane of the rim for the first time.
Robbie's got to have a good game for us tonight. I think that's a real key player for the Wildcats.
I think you're right. I think they all have to, but I'm sure that Rob is one of the keys to our success every time. Nice hustle on the part of the Wildcats. The ball is deflected out of bounds. Tenacious defense, again marking the beginning of this contest on the part of the Wildcats. Mark Schneider guarding the ball, comes in play to Tracy Rule. Tracy Rule guarded by Lindquist. Driving right, now the top of the key, passes off the left side. Inside it goes. Rob Smith made a nice front move on Baba Raymond that time. And Doug Schlaff dropped off to cover the inside, Jeff.
I was going to say, Doug Schlaff rotated nice to help out in the backside, and they had him perfectly covered. So far, I tell you, the Eagles have had trouble getting that ball where they want it to go on their passes. A good Wildcat defense.
Tracy Rule again to put the ball in play. Lindquist trying to prevent that, of course. Ball goes out to the top to Bubba Raymond. Handoff goes to Mike Benedict. Benedict to the left. Up for the first Oakridge shot. It's good. Oakridge 2, Montague 2. 7:24 left in the first quarter. Man-to-man defense by the Oakridge Eagles, also a trademark of theirs. Doug Schlaff to the right. Baseline drive. Nice move by Doug Schlaff. 2 points.
That's what we got to see Doug Schlaff do. He's got to take that ball to the hole. He's got to have an excellent ball game for us.
Greg Guzman against Schneider now, bringing it up to the timeline. deflection by Eric Webb. Nice defensive move that time. Eric Webb, good assist to Snyder. Oakridge having a little difficulty against the Wildcat press at the moment. Lindquist picks the ball up, ahead to Schneider, the ball goes. Schneider loses it this time. It's knocked into the hands of the Eagles, Mike Benedict. Now left side now, good for the Eagles is Greg Guzman on the left side. Ball inbounds to Lindquist. Back to Schlaff.
Good maneuver by the Wildcats to have Doug bring it up, because Sparrow is not as quick as Doug, so they can't put that pressure on him.
Back outside to Schneider. Rob Smith way outside, a three-point attempt. No good. Rebound off to Schneider, up for the shot. No good. Rob Smith hustles in for the rebound that time. Looking for the three-point attempt. Inside it goes instead to Mark Schneider. Bubba Raymond comes down with a rebound. Sorry about that. Number 30, Mike Benedict drives, good. Oakridge 6, Montague 6, 5:54 remaining in the first quarter. Doug Schlaff with the ball once again. Looking to Coach Tate for a little bit of advice as he dribbles up the court. Stack offense against the man-to-man. Schlaff, no good. Rebound comes off to Sparrow. Nice deflection that time, and the Wildcats come back up with the ball. Lindquist over to Eric Webb. Back out it goes to Lindquist, and he takes the outside shot. Good on about a 19-footer that time. Not quite. We'll say 17 and a half, Jeff.
That's pretty close.
The drive is going to the paint by Mike Benedict, but he's going to be fouled by Eric Webb from the side as he went by him.
Eric's going to have to get a little help from his teammates. His Benedict is a very quick ball player too, and so far he's been able to take Eric into the middle, and it's been one-on-one, and we got to get a little bit of movement off the ball to help him out.
8-6 Wildcats. Outside shot by the Eagles. It's good by Benedict. By the Eagles, have they missed a shot yet, Jeff?
I don't think
so.
so.
Just one, I think. So they're, I think, about 100% from the floor. Kevin Bushberg had come in for a Lindquist, gets the ball into Eric Webb, and Eric goes up for the shot. He's going to be fouled in the paint.
Well, Larry, I think we got a lucky call there, because that's just about all that Eric could do. He was surrounded by three Eagles, and the only thing he could do was go up and hope he's going to get fouled, and that's exactly what happened.
This will be Eric's 46th attempt of the season from the charity stripe. 8-8 is the score, 4:57 remaining in the first quarter. Misses on the first. That was Guzman's first personal and the second team. Eric up for the second shot and puts the Wildcats up by one, 9-8. Ball comes in from Sparrow, now back to Sparrow. Off the right-hand side now, goes to Guzman. Guzman to the center. Guzman still controlling ball into the paint. Back out it goes now to Benedict. Benedict drives that paint. Good. The Wildcats didn't close off the center that time, Jeff. The referee is having a conversation with Rob Smith here about something. I didn't catch what it might have been.
Evidently something after the basket was made about hitting the ball. I'm not sure.
That could well have been it.
Usually that happens with the defensive team. Or I should say the team that makes the basket becomes a defensive team.
Eric Webb now across the timeline to the left side. In it goes to Ryan Anglem. Goes up for the shot. Good! Jeff, Ryan Anglem has just done a super job for the Cats in recent contests. He's shown great improvement as the season progressed.
Well, Ryan is an excellent athlete, and there's no doubt in my mind that he should do that constantly. And I'm really tickled to see that he's starting to really come into his own, getting confidence and doing the things that have to be done.
Bubba Raymond puts the Eagles up by 1, 12-11, with 4 minutes exactly left in the first quarter.
And again, it was Benedict that caused that to happen.
And I think Schlaff is going to be called for the travel as he took one extra step there. Lindquist back into the Wildcat lineup. And Bubba Raymond also getting a well-deserved rest. Bubba has had some important rebounds here early in the contest, and of course got that last bucket. Sparrow over to the right-hand side baseline area. Back out to Guzman. Guzman drives the paint, and it's picked off by the Wildcats this time as Bushberger returns it across the timeline. Bushberger in control. Bushberger had an excellent game Tuesday night, Jeff, against Holton at the Red Devils court, scoring 18 points.
Well, if you remember the first game against these same Eagles, he had just a super game.
Rob Smith on the inside move makes it 13-12 Montague. That's correct. I think Kevin had 15 points against the Eagles down at Oakridge.
I think even more important, it was the floor game that he played.
That's correct, and there's a nice return bucket by the Eagles, number 52, Ed Latch. Latch, one of the returning lettermen from the Eagles lineup. In fact, this is the third year he's been on the varsity. No good that time is Anglem, and the rebound comes off to Ed Latch. Mike Benedict now with the ball, back on top to Sparrow. Sparrow looks to the paint again, and we're going to have an offensive foul called on Sparrow as he drove the paint. Rob Smith held nice position that time.
Yeah, did exactly as you'd want him to do in there.
That's his first personal and the team's third. Robert Sparrow with the first personal of the night against him. Schlaff, and it goes to Lindquist across the timeline. Lindquist pulls up for the little short shot. No good off the back of the rim. Lindquist with his own rebound now. Controls the ball. Eric Webb, the 15-footer, falls off the front of the rim. Rule with the rebound. Ahead it goes, and he's going to be called for traveling. That was Benedict who gets a call right in front of the Wildcat bench.
So far, I think the referees have been really right on top of things. I didn't know you were going to catch that, but they got that right now.
They surely did. 2:29 remaining, 14-13 Oakridge. Ryan Anglem driving in the paint area, up for the shot, no good, off the back of the rim. Schlaff, good position, nice rebound and basket, puts the Wildcats up by one.
And nobody blocked Doug Schlaff out, and he just went right to that hole, and there the ball came. Easy two.
Doug is the leading rebounder on the Wildcat team with 87 rebounds coming into tonight's game. Inside it goes to Sparrow, and I think we're going to have a call of over the back on Matt Cotter, who had come into the contest here to replace Rob Smith. His first personal, the team's second. So the Eagles will put it in play underneath their own basket. Rule waiting to take the ball from Johnny Robinson.
You know, Larry, if you watch these teams, they certainly mirror each other, don't they?
Indeed.
All kinds of players in the ball game. In and out they come and they go and run, they press. They just do a lot of the same things.
And both of them do it well.
That's for sure.
Shot is up by Benedict. I think he's perfect from the floor tonight. 16-15 the score is, with the visitors having a 1-point advantage at 1:40 of the first quarter. Eric Webb driving right, drops it to Doug Schlaff from the outside. Good. Montague up by one. 17-16. A minute and 30 left in the first quarter. Benedict driving right. Picked up by Lindquist. Rule on the right-hand side. Back in the paint it is. Back to Mike Benedict. Benedict to the top now to Rule. Back to Benedict. Good patience on the part of the Oakridge Eagles this time. Inside it goes to Bubba Raymond. Nice turnaround jump, puts the Eagles up by one, 18-17.
They did defense right. They just get to apply a little bit tighter pressure once he gets the ball in there.
1 minute exactly in the quarter. Doug Schlaff with the ball on the left-hand side, up for the shot. No good, just can't quite get it to drop. Mike Benedict hustles back for the Eagles. Off to Rule, he tried to get it, but I think he's going to be called for the extra dribble there as he tried to pick it up and couldn't quite handle it.
Well, Benedict's running the show for the Eagles right now. He's got people going where he wants to, and when they need the big baskets, he's getting them by himself, or he's able to get that ball to somebody who's wide open, and that's what they have to have.
45 seconds left as Eric Webb brings the ball up. Rob Schneider back into the contest for Montague, replacing Ryan Anglem. Schneider with the ball. Schlaff with the ball. Three-point attempt from far outside. Good! Excellent shot by Doug Schlaff.
What appears to me right now, Doug has that feeling. You know, give me the ball.
Give me the ball.
I feel pretty good about this.
I'd like to see Doug be in the groove all night long. He's had a little tough luck from time to time this season, but tonight he's on the mark. Nice inside pass that time as Bubba Raymond seems to want the ball inside too, Jeff.
Well,
5 seconds. Doug Schlaff driving the lane. Up. Good. It's the end of the first quarter with the score, Montague 22, Oakridge 20. Well, Jeff, at that pace, both teams are going to be above their scoring average for the evening.
Right, if they can continue to go at that pace. Although, as we said earlier, both teams are substituting quite frequently, and with that, I'm sure that they're going to be able to go right to the final second.
Okay, fans, we'll be right back with the start of the second quarter action right after these messages from our commercial sponsors. Game is brought to you in part by the House of Cards. For that special baseball, football, or basketball card, see Bob Johnson at the House of Cards at the corner of Dowling and Water Street in Montague. Bob also has a complete line of pro and college t-shirts, sweatshirts, and sweatpants. For that special gift, the House of Cards also carries custom-made silkscreen sweatshirts and t-shirts. And by the Whitehall. Coach Neil Beckwith following his players out onto the court. Neil Beckwith, the third-year coach, doing an excellent job coming into a program that had been in a little disarray perhaps, but Neil doing a nice job with the players from Oakridge, and tonight is no exception. Oakridge, Sparrow driving right, blocked by Schlaff.
I think we got away with one there, Larry. It looked like quite a bit of body contact.
I'm sure Coach Beckwith agrees with you, Jeff, as he mentioned this to the official on the way up.
But I think it went back the other way as well.
Mike Benedict now with the ball. Over it goes to Greg Guzman. Good from the outside. Ties the score, 22 all. 7:28 remaining in the second quarter, excuse me. Eric Webb bringing the ball up for the Wildcats. Eric Webb from the outside with the shot, a little short that time, and Bubba Raymond controlling the inside board. Jeff, we're not getting a lot of second shots on the offensive board. Nice by Eric Webb. Webb with the hustle and
nice play.
Nice pass.
Beautiful
Lindquist
play
with the shot. 24-22 Montague. Beautiful play by Eric Webb that time. Knocked the ball away from the Oakridge player, hustled after it, saved it. Assist to Lindquist, who got the two.
You know, those are the type of plays that can get you going as you hear the fans who really appreciate a play like that. Excellent hustle.
Absolutely correct. And the trap is being applied. Good hands on the inside that time, but we're going to count the basket by Sparrow. Count the basket by Sparrow, and the foul is going to be called on Eric Webb, I believe, who hustled down from the top trying to block that attempt and do the, it's Mark Schneider, I'm sorry, the second time to try and stop that inside, and just picked up the foul. It's his first personal and the team's third. Sparrow's good on the shot from the line.
I think that was Latch.
Oh, excuse me.
The line.
All right. Wildcats come up the floor. Once again, Eric Webb driving left. Ryan Anglem back into the contest. Back out it goes to Lindquist. Lindquist driving inside. Up it goes, a little too hard that time, off the backboard. Ryan Anglem controls, no good. And the ball comes out to Bubba Raymond. That time we got more than the one shot, but it didn't do us any good as Mike Benedict comes back down to the Oakridge end. Saved by Guzman. Guzman looking into Bubba Raymond. Nice pass that time to Guzman.
Now we got a push off on Rob Smith on the pass in. Rob got his hand and just pushed him towards the baseline. Right in front of the referee.
Well, Jeff, though Mike Benedict probably is the leading scorer for Oakridge at this point in time, it's easy to see that they're looking for that big play on the inside from Bubba Raymond. Raymond, I think, is the tallest player on the Oakridge team at 6'6", and of course the Wildcats' tallest player is Doug Schlaff at 6'3", and they're trying to take some advantage of that. Guzman drops it to Raymond. Raymond up for the shot, no good over the top this time, controlled by Sparrow. Oh, I think we're going to have a jump ball that time.
Robbie had all arms there.
I'm sure you're right, Jeff.
I think, again, it was just basically where the referees are standing. And
it was quite clear from up here, but
yes.
We have a different view of it than the officials on the court. And at any rate, it's a Wildcat ball. You bet. And the Wildcats control it now. Schlaff bringing the ball up court. Nice smooth flow on the part of Doug Schlaff. Three-pointer off the back, no good. And the ball is controlled by Tracy Rule. Rule driving right now. Now reverses his direction. Fans thought he might have dragged the back foot there. Bubba Raymond inside. Nice assist that time to Robert Sparrow.
And Raymond's got a nice touch inside. Nice sweet little hook either which way he goes.
Anglem to Lindquist, no good. Off the glass. Rule back for the Oakridge Eagles. Inside it goes to Raymond once again. And it's no good that time. He had three Wildcats surrounding him and knew he couldn't come up with it. Lindquist again short this time. 27-24 Oakridge with 5 minutes remaining in the second quarter.
And like you said, Larry, we're getting one shot and that's it.
Rule looking inside, driving to the paint himself that time. Beautiful pass across to Raymond. The Wildcats collapsed nicely on it. Back out it went to Rule. Excuse me, that was Guzman, who sinks it for a three. 30-24 Oakridge. Wildcats find themselves down by 6 with 4:35 remaining in the second quarter. Rob Smith driving the left baseline. Has it blocked by Raymond. Out of bounds, Wildcats underneath their own bucket. Eric Webb coming back in for Montague, replacing Scott Lindquist. Jeff, the Wildcats a little ragged right now. Find themselves down by 6. They've only scored 2 points in about 3.5 minutes of play here in this quarter. Ryan Anglem tries to change it, can't quite get it to drop. And once again, the Oakridge Eagles come up with it.
Yeah, they got to get the ball and run something a little while to get a feel of what's going on.
Foul is going to be called on Doug Schlaff. The Oakridge Eagles had some trouble hanging onto the ball there. 3 of them trying to control it, and finally Ed Latch came up with it.
Well, the Eagles have kind of established an inside-outside game right now. Bubba Raymond's been working well inside. Sparrow's been working inside, and with that, your guards can get a little bit of distance between their persons on the outside, and they've been canning the outside shot. So it makes it a little bit more difficult to watch the big men inside because those men are hitting it, and back and forth we go. And as long as they're hitting, they're going to keep on playing it. And the Wildcats, on the other hand, have not been able to put the ball in the hoop.
Absolutely correct. Latch missed those 2 from the line, and that helps the Wildcats, of course. Schlaff for the outside shot. Off the back of the rim it is again. And here comes Sparrow over to Bubba Raymond. Raymond inside. No good on the shot, but he draws a personal on Ryan Anglem as he goes for the drive. And so this will find Bubba Raymond at the line.
You know, Larry, we seem to be getting the shots, but we just can't seem to knock them down.
Raymond is exactly 50% from the line for the season, 21 of 42 so far. Matt Cotter coming in for Doug Schlaff. Matt's had some excellent games for us this season. He seems to be around the ball on the boards, and has had some important scores for us as well.
Just done an excellent job. A smart, heady ball player that knows what he has to do, and he goes out and does those things. Plays within his game.
Bubba Raymond good on the first and the second. Puts the Eagles up by 8, 32-24 with 3:55 remaining in the second quarter. Eric Webb across the timeline. Inside it goes to Kevin Buschberger, but we're going to have the travel in the call. Buschberger couldn't quite handle the bounce pass from Eric Webb. Tracy Rule waiting to put the ball in play as Buschberger is going to get a nice rest, and Lindquist comes back into the game. Tracy Rule again going to the top of the key. Little double team there, but he gets rid of the ball over to the right side. Mike Benedict, excuse me, that's Greg Guzman, good from the right baseline. And we have a timeout, Montague, to the score, Oakridge 34, Wildcats 24. 3 minutes, 33 seconds left in the first quarter. Coach Jim Tate takes a wise timeout here, I think, Jeff, to get them back in a little better shape.
Well, Larry, I think we're not only disorganized on the offensive end, which I think has started this whole thing, but now it's starting to carry over on the defensive end as people are running loose and getting those wide open shots. Nobody's around. and nobody's getting a hand up in anybody's face, and that's not a Wildcat characteristic. That's something we've been noted for all season. In fact, all 3 years that Coach Tate's been here.
Well, though we're down by 10 points right now, I remind everybody that we were down by more than 10 against the Whitehall Vikings at their home court, and came back strong and pulled out the victory, of course. Whitehall tonight, by the way, is up at Hart, taking on the Pirates, who certainly gave the Montague Wildcats a run for the money and a good scare last Friday night.
Well, you know, I think all season long, really, we've played kind of erratic. We've played real well in spurts, and then we've played really terrible in spurts. And I think we're going through one of those spells right now. And as you said, though, we always have that ability to come back and play real well, and not only offensively but defensively, and get ourselves real quickly back in the ball game.
Lindquist from the outside. Good off the glass with a three-pointer. 34-27. They don't look as pretty going in off the glass, but they count just as much, and that was a good shot by Lindquist.
Look all the same right in that scorebook.
That's right. Robert Sparrow. Ball is stolen by Lindquist. Over it goes to Matt Cotter. Cotter picking it up inside to Eric Webb. No good, over the top it goes. Matt Cotter has the shot blocked, and it goes out of bounds to Montague.
Well, there's Matt Cotter. Got the ball up, got the ball inside, and then he got the rebound.
Matt Cotter does a good job for the Wildcats while he's in there, and he gets the ball again on the inside. Nice turnaround move that time. Good! That's what we've been talking about,
That's
Jeff.
right.
Some important points there. Pulls the Cats back within 5. So after that timeout, they've picked up 5 points on the Eagles. And whatever Coach Tate said to the Wildcat players must have been the right thing.
Well, we've got a lot of smart kids on our team, and they listen well, and they know when they're not playing well, and they don't try to get out of sorts when Coach Tate gets on their case, and it pays off.
Sparrow with the basket for the Eagles. Schneider from the outside, no good, and the Wildcats come up short that time. Ed Latch driving the paint. Good. 38-29, Oakridge. 2 minutes exactly remaining in the first half. Ball goes ahead to Lindquist. 3-on-1 break for the Wildcats. Matt Cotter up from the left baseline area. Good. Draws the Wildcats back within 7. 38-31 at 1:45 of the second quarter. Ball goes over the top that time. Tracy Rule got it by Lindquist. Now that's Sparrow from the outside, a three-point shot. No good. Mark Schneider with a nice solid rebound for Montague that time. Schneider bringing it up and slowing it down. Going to run the offense this time against a man-to-man pressure defense of the Eagles. Rule follows Eric Webb through the paint. Schneider over to Schlaff. Schlaff back over to Schneider. Schneider drives the right paint. Good, and he's fouled. It's going to count, and that's, I believe, the second personal on Bubba Raymond. Nice patience that time by the Wildcats. Good movement of the ball, and Mark made a nice strong move to the basket.
You know, I think if the Wildcats could work it inside against Raymond, he tends to slap at the ball a lot, and he's going to get some blocks, but if they can get him in foul trouble, maybe get him on the bench, it certainly is going to be a needed thing inside.
That's Bubba Raymond's second personal, and Mark Schneider, the leading free throw shooter for the Wildcats at 80%, will be on the charity stripe. Rob Smith coming back in, replacing Cotter. And Kevin Buschberger also came back in, replacing Lindquist. Mark Schneider has attempted 35 shots from the line, now 36. 38-33, 1:13 in the first half. Greg Guzman on the left drives the paint. That's Robert Sparrow. And Rob Smith is going to pick up the personal as Sparrow got by him. As I think Rob kind of lost his balance that time a bit, Jeff, and
right.
Tried to get back up and in it and drew his second personal. So both Bubba Raymond and Rob Smith have 2 personals. Matt Cotter and Ryan Anglem, Eric Webb, Doug Schlaff, and Kevin Buschberg on the court for the Wildcats. Robert Sparrow up for the free throw attempt is short. Doug Schlaff comes down with it. Schlaff was looking up court that time, going to make the long pass, and at the last instant figured the man wasn't open, I think.
Just bring it up to court. That's what you got to remember to Nobody was on you, just bring it up the court, set your offense up. If everybody was down there, you weren't going to gain an advantage.
So the Eagles have it with 55 seconds left in the half. Up for the shot is Benedict, no good, and Kevin Bushberger comes away with the ball. Benedict guarding him closely. Bushberger cutting inside of him, comes to a halt. Matt Cotter from far outside, a three-point effort just short off the front of the rim. Benedict hustling down left side, behind the back, drops it for Sparrow. Sparrow driving left. We're going to have this time an offensive foul on Robert Sparrow.
Good play by Kevin Bushberger. Established position, saw what Sparrow was going to do, moved over in his path, and drew that foul.
You've been an official for many years, Jeff, although I know this year, because you're coaching, you haven't done quite as much, but that's a pretty hard call to make for the officials, isn't it?
That probably is the most difficult, that or the blocking foul. Depending on which side you're on, you want one or the other, and certainly is the most difficult.
Wildcats coming back up. Kevin Bushberger off the front, no good, and Doug Schlaff is there for the foul. 38-35, Oakridge. Kevin Bushberger. We've got lots of action underneath the Oakridge basket. Is now Doug Schlaff tries to come down with it. Finally, we're going to have a jump ball. Fast and furious action that time, Jeff, with 11 seconds remaining in the half. And it's going to be Oakridge ball on the possession rule, leading by 3, 38-35.
And both coaches wanting things called as it gets a little rough and rugged out there. Hey, that's
well,
about as,
excuse me.
That's about as rough as I've seen Doug Schlaff be all season long, as he's really scrambled for those balls and went down on that floor and got that ball off.
With a look of determination in his eye. Of course, the Oakridge players had that same look. 10 seconds, 9, 8. Nice inside pass to Benedict. Over the top it goes. 5 seconds. Schlaff brings the ball out, and it's going to be off from the Wildcats' leg. 2 seconds and a half. And the ball is going to go back over to Oakridge. 2 seconds remaining, 38-35. Rule getting some instruction from Coach Neil Beckwith. Greg Guzman, no good as the half ends with the score. Oakridge 38, Montague 35. Well, Jeff, that was a fast half of action. With the Eagles and the Wildcats going up and down the court. I think one of the keys in terms of the three-point difference for the Wildcats right now has to be the fact that Oakridge was controlling their defensive boards, not letting the Wildcats get more than one shot. On the other hand, the Eagles certainly were hitting a good percentage, especially in the first quarter from the field.
Well, I think the Eagles played a very good first half throughout from start to finish. They did what they wanted to do. They got down a little bit at the beginning, but they just kept on doing those things and finally worked themselves up to a 10-point lead. The Wildcats started out doing the things that they should, but then, as you said, they start missing. The Eagles grabbed all the rebounds that there were to be, and Wildcats, I think, came down and tried to rush things at times. And doing that, they got further behind, and then they got a little sloppy on the defensive end. And that was the time when Coach Tate called the timeout, got them settled down. They came back down, cut that difference from a 10-point difference to now it's 3 at halftime. And that's exactly where I think Coach Tate is. He's tickled to be there.
You're exactly right, Jeff. Since that timeout, the Wildcats have outscored the Eagles 11-4, and that's quite a streak. When you can turn it around like they did, that's a good sign, of course, at least if you're a Wildcat fan. The fans from Oakridge probably would like it to be a little bit different.
And as I said, you know, that's exactly been the way that the Wildcats have played this year.
You're absolutely right. And I think we're seeing another thing we've commented on several times throughout the season, Jeff, and that is that the league is pretty well balanced this year. We had some good sophomores last year, both at the varsity level in a few instances, and certainly on the junior varsity teams. And some of those sophomores have come up and done a nice job for Oakridge Eagles tonight and throughout the season.
Just think what it's going to be like next year, Larry. A lot of those sophomores are going to be seniors, and we've got some sophomores out here tonight.
That's correct.
So, you know, I think the West Michigan Conference and the people that follow this league are just in the store for the next few years for some awful good basketball. And coaching down at the junior high this year, I saw some excellent basketball players at the 7th and 8th grade level. So there's basketball on the way for years and years to come.
You're certainly right, Jeff. And of course, we have our own good undergrad programs, if you will, in the freshman team. The freshman team defeated Oakridge tonight in an exciting, tense, hard-fought battle. Earlier here this evening, the Wildcats came out on top by a score of 53-52. Paul Cederquist did an excellent job controlling the boards for the Wildcats and had some important points in the third quarter, especially putting the Wildcats up, and then they hung on for the victory. Actually, the Oakridge Eagles came back and tied that game with about, it seems to me it was like a minute left in the contest, and the Wildcats finally pulled it out near the gun. On the other hand, our JV team tonight dropped a decision to Oakridge 76-57. But there's lots of talent in the Montague basketball program, and I'm sure we're going to be seeing good results from that talent in the next few years. But Jeff, I think at this time we're going to take a timeout and have a word from our commercial sponsors, and we'll be right back. Versus Wildcats game. The score is 38 for the Eagles, 35 for the Wildcats. Wildcats haven't often found themselves down in halftime, but they do it tonight by 3 points. As we approach the beginning of the second half, the Eagles are back out on the court, warming up. Coach Tate still has his Wildcats in the locker room, giving them last-minute instructions. Well, we've got a little bit of time here, Jeff. I think we'll remind the fans of upcoming contests. This coming Tuesday night, February 13th, the Wildcats will travel to Grant this Tuesday. JV game starting at 6 o'clock. A week from tonight, February 16th, the Wildcats travel to Shelby to take on the Tigers. And they close out the season with 4 more contests after those 2. So we have 6 remaining after tonight's contest.
Doesn't seem hardly possible, does it?
Oh, it certainly doesn't. I remember doesn't seem too long ago, you and I were standing up here talking about girls basketball, as a matter of fact. So time goes by quickly. Wildcats have come back out on the floor now, too. Jeff, once in a while, the Wildcats have had kind of a difficult time coming out strong in the early part of the third quarter. They can't afford that tonight.
Well, they have to play solid basketball. They can't get themselves too much further behind, and because this Eagle team is just an excellent ball team. It's one of the best, if not the best, we've played all year long. And you get yourselves too far behind them, you're not going to be able to get yourself back. And that's what they got to be careful of doing.
Well, Jeff, as we mentioned, the Eagles have 3 players in double figures. That's Benedict Sparrow and Bubba Rainman. And we can see why tonight they're in double figures. Raymond especially was strong early in the contest. Mike Benedict was strong early in the contest. And Sparrow has done his thing mostly in the second quarter. The Wildcats need to concentrate on their offensive boards a little bit more, and perhaps on the defensive end, be a little more intense, especially as the ball goes inside.
Their offensive continuity didn't look real good, Larry. At times it looked out of sorts. People were looking for people and people were breaking, but they were just kind of off, not really on tune with each other. And that's what, I'm going to look for in the second half to get going and do those things.
Oh, we've got a minute here, too. We'd like to thank our camera person for tonight for volunteering his services once again. Montague High School agricultural teacher, Mr. Van Lawrence, is behind the lens tonight. You can't see him, but we can, and we thank him very much for his efforts on behalf of Montague High School basketball. Also, I should just remind folks of an upcoming program after tonight's broadcast. This Tuesday, as the Tigers travel to Grant, you might want to put your tape player on if you still have some questions remaining on the issue of consolidation. We urge everybody to come out and vote, of course, on Thursday, February 15th, for that important issue to be decided. But on Tuesday evening at 7:30, CTEC Cable Channel 5 will be airing a tape, an edited tape, covering the issues surrounding consolidation. And so we encourage you, if you have some questions remaining, some issues that you would like to see discussed by the presenters from the study committee, or questions that perhaps were asked and raised by community members, to tune in 7:30 CTEC Channel 5 Tuesday night, February 13th.
Larry, one of the things as we get started here in the second half is the Cats have to remember they've got 16 minutes, and they got to get 2 points at a time and play a minute at a time. And if they do that, and they play at both ends of the court as they're capable, they should be in the ball game at the end, and that's what they want to be.
I recall a statement that Coach Tate made to me at the end of the Whitehall game when we found ourselves down most of the game. That's what he told his Chargers at the time. He said, you just got to keep working the ball, keep putting the shots up. If they fall, that's great. Keep intense on defense. Keep yourselves in the game on the defense until the shots do fall. I'm sure that's what he's going to be trying to tell his people to do right now. Schneider misses a shot from the left baseline area. Notice we didn't have any cats around the board that time either, Jeff.
No, and that was what hurt us in the first half, and we can't have that happen in the second half.
Guzman, no good, and Scott Lindquist comes down the court with the ball for the Wildcats. Scott, one of the leading rebounders for the Montague team, with 77 boards coming into tonight's contest, second on the team. Eric Webb off the glass, no good, and Bubba Raymond again strong on the defensive boards.
Well, Doug Schlaff was on the opposite side where that ball usually comes off, and there was nobody there for easy putback, but the ball carried him back to Bubba Raymond on the side of the ball being shot. So at least we're getting the idea we got to go to the boards.
The turnover at that time by the Eagles, that's one of the problems they've had a little bit this year, is Jeff, is turnovers. They had 227 turnovers coming into the game tonight. Wildcats are having their own troubles right now on the shots. Going out of bounds here to the Eagles. Mike Benedict put it into play. Guzman back to Benedict. Benedict up the left side, brings it over the line, right down the paint, inside to Bubba Raymond. Good assist to Benedict. You mentioned early in the contest, Jeff, that Eric's going to have to get some help against Benedict inside, and he hasn't picked that up yet for the most part. And as a result, the Eagles have been able to penetrate the paint many times.
Well, Benedict continues to do it, and he did it right there. Nobody came, and he just kept on going until they got right down deep in the paint. Finally, somebody moved over, and he just dropped it off to Raymond for easy two.
Second personal against Guzman. Lindquist from the outside. No good, off the back of the rim again. And it goes back to Benedict. Benedict pulls up for the outside look. Over the corner, it goes to Guzman. No good. Eric Webb with the rebound. Mark Schneider from Eric Webb. Short 12-footer, no good. The Wildcats are having trouble finding the hole here in the second half. They're shooting 43% on the year from the field in two-point range, and they're certainly not any better than that tonight, if indeed they sport that kind of a record even. Benedict.
Well, so far they haven't had to pay for it too dearly, as though the Eagles really haven't been that hot either.
That's correct. There's the inside move again by Bubba Raymond. 42-35, the Wildcats down by 7. That time they fronted Raymond, and Doug Schlaff came up from the back, and he still got the ball in the basket. Eric Webb with the drive against, is that Rule, Jeff? I can't see the number. Yes,
I think it was Rule, yes.
And Rule picks up the personal. I believe that's his first and the team's second. And so Eric Webb will put the ball into play on the Wildcat end, hoping to get an offensive break here. Inside to Rob Smith. Good. 42-37. Now that play has worked successfully for the Wildcats many times this season.
You know, that play is so simple in its conception, but boy, I tell you, it works time and time again.
Rule over the corner to Guzman. Mark Schneider didn't take the fake, and Guzman takes the second shot, or the first shot off the second going up there, but misses it. It's going off the backboard to the Wildcats. Mark Schneider getting a nice well-deserved rest. And Doug Schlaff waiting to put the ball into play. Kevin Bushberger with the ball now. Bushberger dribbling it up against Ed Latch. Going to the right side, Rob Smith outside, three-point attempt. Just over the top that time. Rob Smith, leading percentage shooter on the Wildcats squad. Many of those shots coming from the outside. He's one of the leading three-point shooters for the Wildcats. Bubba Raymond again on the inside, and the Wildcats just can't let that happen. They're having trouble shutting it down.
I don't think Bubba Raymond shot one over about 12 inches, has he?
I don't think so, no. Doug Schlaff with the left drive that time makes it 44-39. 5-point advantage for the Eagles. 4:45 remaining in the third quarter. Benedict over to Rule. Eagles can afford to be patient here, take some time off the clock. A 5-point lead and the ball. Benedict into the paint. Good drive that time to the paint. Up for the basket. It's good. Benedict, the second leading scorer of the Eagles, makes it a 7-point difference now. Benedict averaging 36 points, 16 points a contest. Eric Webb from the right baseline, good. 46-41, a 5-point difference now. 4 minutes and 3 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Benedict over the top. What a roll that time. Nice soft touch by Benedict. And we're going to have a little visit from Johnny Robinson on the inside, as I think he's giving a word of advice to some of the players in both teams there.
I think it's getting a little bit rough in there, and just wants to make sure he's got control of everything.
Doug Schlaff into Kevin Bushberger, brings it up court now. 48-41, 7-point difference, 3:50 remaining in the third quarter. Wildcats looking for some help on the offensive side here, and that time Kevin Bushberger drives the paint. He's looking for Rob Smith. Rob, I think, thought he was going to shoot at that time, and perhaps a little 12-footer would have been a good choice. Ed, excuse me, now that was Ed Latch over to Benedict. Benedict looked to to Raymond that time. Nothing was there. Rule, now it goes into Raymond. Nice front that time by Rob Smith. And Rob has the ball go out of bounds. I think Rob believed he was pushed from the backside that time, but the ball goes out of bounds to Oakridge. But a nice defensive move that time.
Yes, it was. Yep. That's the way you got to play that.
Bubba Raymond.
Let Raymond get the ball outside, but don't let him get the ball inside.
That's a over and back call against the Eagles. It kind of looked to me like Lindquist might have slapped the ball out of the Oakridge player's hands, and I'm sure Coach Beckwith thought the same. But
I think that's what he's telling them right now.
I'm sure you're right. Eric Webb for the Wildcats, guarded closely by Rule. Quickness against quickness there, Jeff.
But with that, the Cats have to make something happen.
Doug Schlaff looking to the paint. 14-footer comes up short off the front of the rim, and the Eagles prevent the second shot again. Schlaff guarding Sparrow. Sparrow goes inside. Good! 50-41, 9-point difference. And the pressure put on by the Eagles. Down court it goes to Lindquist. Lindquist driving right, puts it up left-handed. No good. That was not a very good shot selection on part of Lindquist that time. The Eagles control. Mike Benedict inside it goes to Latch. Back to Benedict. Left baseline drive. No good. Off the front of the rim. Eric Webb coming down court. Webb 1-on-4 goes up for the shot and draws the personal on the inside against Robert Sparrow.
I don't know, Larry, but it seems to me Eric really didn't have anything there. He forced it. He's lucky to get that call. It was 1 against 4. Should have brought it out, ran something to get 2 points, as we talked about at the beginning of this third quarter. And you mentioned we have a history of not playing well in the third quarter. Just to get back to our game and not play Oakridge's game. And that's what we've been doing so far.
Eric draws the Cats within 8, 50-42. Sparrow going out and Guzman coming back in for Oakridge. Eric Webb, one more attempt from the charity line. Matt Cotter and Ryan Anglem have come in for the Wildcats, by the way, fans. No good on that attempt, and the Eagles try to control it and can't quite make that happen as Bushberger comes up with the loose ball. And it goes to Eric Webb, driving the right baseline again. That time, Eric has trouble with the reverse layup, and the Eagles come away with it. Greg Guzman pulls up and drops it for Benedict.
Fans wanted to carry on that.
Guzman looking right. Comes back to get the loose ball. Schlaff guards him. Back outside to Benedict. Guzman against Schlaff. Rule against Bushberger. Benedict, nice turnaround move that time. Inside it goes to Latch, who probably had more time than that, Jeff. If he had come down and just taken a little jumper there, it might have been a better selection.
Right, I think he thought there was somebody coming towards him, as there has been all night long, but nobody was to be there.
Wildcats escaped that one, and Eric Webb has trouble coming up with the inbounds pass, or pass from underneath the basket, and the Eagles had 3 men on it.
Eric's trying to make too many things happen on his own, and he just got to run the show.
Good is Benedict from the outside. A 2-point shot puts the Eagles up once again by 10. 52-42, the first time they've had that lead since they were up 34-24. Matt Cotter also drives the inside, has the shot blocked by Bubba Raymond. The Wildcats are certainly playing a little ragged on the offensive end. I think there's going to be a traveling call. Good call that time, I believe, Jeff. Ed Latch, looking to the inside, had the right idea, but couldn't quite get the right number of steps down to make it happen. Rob Smith and Lindquist back in for the Wildcats, replacing Eric Webb and Matt Cotter. And Rule getting a rest, being replaced by number 32, and that's David Nelson. David Nelson. Doug Schlaff into Anglem. Doug Schlaff now beginning up one-on-one against Guzman.
Now the Wildcats just have to run something. Be smart.
Doug Schlaff, good with the turnaround move and the shot against Guzman. Now, that was probably a good choice for Doug that time. He had quite a height advantage on Guzman.
Now if they can get the steal here or get the ball back before the end of the quarter and score one more, they're in good shape.
52-44, 8-point lead by the Eagles with 20 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Guzman drives the paint, puts it up, no good. The Eagles control, that's Guzman on the outside. Nice pass that time, beautiful look. And a foul is going to be called on Rob Smith as David Nelson went up for the shot. Rob Smith trying for the block is going to be called for the foul. That's his third personal, Jeff. 10 seconds remaining in the half. David Nelson at the line. He'll be shooting 2, I believe. Nelson, a 66% free throw shooter for the season. Short on that one.
Well, now the Wildcats got 10 seconds. Regardless if he makes this or misses this, we can make it a 6 or 7-point ball game at this point, if we're smart.
Good is the second shot by Nelson. 53-44, 9-point difference, 6 seconds. Lindquist with the ball on the right-hand side. Bushberger with the baseline drive. Back it goes to Rob Smith. And before the basket can be up, shot up, it's the end of the quarter. The horn sounds with the score. Montague trailing by 9. Oakridge 53, Montague 44. And fans will be right back for the conclusion of tonight's action right after this message from our commercial sponsors. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Hunt Hardware. Kitchen utensils, lawn and garden products, and a wide selection of tools are among only a few of the items happy customers will find waiting for them at Hunt's Hardware. Hunt's, located in downtown Montague, offers a full line of hardware supplies and service with a smile. Hunt's Hardware is sure to have everything for your home hardware needs, so come to Hunt's. The Wildcats are going to have to pick it up offensively. They have not looked smooth, as you mentioned earlier on. They're just not together tonight. They're trying to make things happen that aren't there to have happen.
Looks to me there's a lot of one-on-one play, and you have to have a certain amount of that in a ball club, but I think the thing that's been our chemistry in the past is that we've been a team that looks for everybody, and we find those people. And there's been too much dribbling, too much taking the ball to the hoop, it appears, and too much standing around by the other people. And that's just not how we play. And we're not going to win this ball game, I don't think, if we continue to play that way.
I'm afraid you're right, Jeff. Well, let's see what happens here. The Eagles put it into play with the start of the fourth quarter. And I'm sure Coach Tate has told his team just about what you said on the air, Jeff. David Nelson on the inside, no good. He forced that shot a little, and Ryan Anglem came down with a nice rebound that time. Rob Smith from the outside off the glass, no good. Lindquist from the inside, the rebound, the attempted shot, no good. He's going to get 2 shots by Lindquist now. Nice position on the rebound that time by Lindquist, who followed Smith's shot in.
But again, it was we come right back down. We get no passes. We get a shot real quick, and that's good if it goes in and it looks great, Larry, but we have to continue to work that ball around for the shots that we want to get and involve people. We have to play the good defense. We have to stop them at that end. Every possession we get the ball, we may have to make something happen. We have to go to the line or we have to get the 2.
Lindquist shooting 62% from the line for the season, collects on those 2, making it a 7-point game, 53-46. That was the first personal on Benedict, by the way. Benedict now dribbling up court. Ryan Anglin tries for the steal. Can't quite get there in time. Lindquist tipped the ball, and now we're going to have the inside basket by Bubba Raymond, who showed nice concentration that time, Jeff. Doug Schlaff dribbling left now, back to the other side. Over the top it goes, down court to Eric Webb. Webb up for the shot. Can't make it happen. And Bubba Raymond's there for the defensive rebound. Your same comment holds true, Jeff.
Nice steal. Nice steal by Scott Lindquist.
Lindquist with a steal, attempted basket, draws a personal again. This time, again, I believe he'll get 2 shots from the charity stripe. It's his second personal, 2 in a row on Benedict here.
Good balance by Scott as he went to the floor and still got the dribble and took it in and is going to be at the line.
6:58 remaining.
Right now, I think, Larry, I think the Wildcats can make sure that they stop Bubba Raymond inside. They just can't let him kill them like he has. Let number 32, I think, shoot the ball from the outside. Let him prove that he can beat you. Don't let him get the ball inside.
Good observation, Jeff. There is number 32, David Nelson with the ball. Benedict stops it for Sparrow. Sparrow along right baseline. There's Ed Latch looking to the paint. Latch is going to be fouled by Ryan Anglum on the arm as Latch went up for the inside shot from about 7 feet.
From here, it looked like it was Rob Smith that got him, but it was a good foul regardless. It was a good foul because it had him out of position, and he was going to get the easy 2, make him go to the line.
Latch, a 66% shooter on the season from the line. Misses that one. 55-48 is the score with 6:45 remaining. That was the second personal on Anglum. Interestingly enough, Jeff, that's only the second team foul of the half. That time Rob Smith and Lindquist both had the right idea going after rebound, but neither could control, and it goes out of bounds to the Eagles.
Boy, those kind of turnovers where, the ball's right there and all you have to do is latch onto it and you fight over it and you end up giving it back. It can end up being a 4-point turnover.
Steal by Lindquist. Ahead it goes to Webb. Webb drives the basket up and good. 55-50. That's the first time the Wildcats have trailed by 5 or less in quite a while, Jeff. They've got to hope their defense can remain strong here. Latch driving the paint. Going to be fouled on the outside. And it'll be a 1-and-1 situation. No, it won't. I believe that's the only, like we said,
right,
that's only the third
foul. Yep.
Team foul on the Wildcats. So if the official doesn't believe it was in the act of shooting, 1 and bonus. Well, it won't be a 1 and bonus.
As the game's gone on, Larry, one of the observations I've made is that the Eagles, when they get the ball towards the top, they take the ball to the middle. They don't go towards the baseline. If they're on the baseline, they will go to the baseline. And we just have to push them the opposite way, make them do something they don't want to do.
Excellent move that time. Rule inside to Bubba Raymond, and Raymond hits another one, putting them back up by 7. Bubba Raymond has been the secret of the Eagles' success here in the second half. Well, the foul is going to be called on David Nelson, number 32, Jeff. Once again, I guess I would question. It'd be interesting to see the replay on that one.
Certainly looked like a good block.
Looked like a good block.
But we need all the breaks we can get at this point, so we're certainly going to take that and hope Kevin can knock him down and get us back within 5.
David Nelson's first personal, and Bushberger will be on the line for 2. Eric Webb getting a rest. Latch coming back in for David Nelson. Bushberger at the line. Bushberger shooting 71% from the free throw line on the season, and sinks that one, of course. 57-51, Montague trailing by 6. Nice touch that time. Good roll. Brings it back to a 5-point difference. 6 minutes and 5 seconds remaining. That's Sparrow, Robert Sparrow, over to Benedict. Benedict guarded by Lindquist. Bushberger guarding Rule there. Benedict driving the paint once again. That time he did get some help from Rob Smith, and the ball is going to be ruled out of bounds off from Rob. Once again, however, like you mentioned before, it was on top. They drove the paint, and the Wildcats had a little trouble.
That's been their tendency all night long, to drive that paint from the top.
Bubba Raymond, nice drop that time to Rule. Robert Sparrow from the outside. Benedict right underneath. And finally, Latch comes up with it. We're going to have a call on the outside. 3 seconds is the call. The fans, the action was on the floor most of that time, but while the action was on the floor, Benedict was in the free throw, the paint.
Right.
That blue area down there,
That's
Jeff.
right.
So
the fans wanted a travel in there, but the players that had the ball weren't rolling. They kept their position and were looking to somebody to pass, so you weren't going to get the travel.
Jeff, can you explain that rule to us a little bit? Used to be if we're on the floor and didn't have our feet planted very well, it was a travel, and now the feet can be up as long as you don't roll?
As long as you don't move your position, right. You have to, it's the same type of thing. If you've established a position and you don't roll, you don't move, then you can stay there. Now, you also cannot get up off the floor once you've been on the floor with the ball, unless the ball has been dribbling when you go on the floor, which Scott did down here in front of us on the steal.
Okay. Well, I hope I remember that all, Jeff. And that's a good explanation for the fans who might have wondered about that. It's been a long time since I've played any round ball, as you know, but that wasn't the rule when I was around. I think I'd be good at it, though, because I was on the floor a lot. I like to lay around.
That's exactly where I played a lot of my basketball.
5:36 remaining in the game, 57-52. The Wildcats have been at a 5-point difference for several times during the late third and early fourth quarters here, but they haven't been able to cut under that.
But they're very, very much in this ball game.
Oh, definitely.
And within 5 points, they've got the ball, can cut it to 3 if they work it, and just have to play smart basketball. Here's the opportunity.
Eric Webb off to Lindquist. No good on the shot. Lindquist underneath. Can't make it drop, but he's fouled on the play.
Excellent play by Scott Lindquist as he stole that ball. And, he's going to get a chance to get us within 3. And then we have to go down at the other end, and we got to make sure they take a shot like they did last time, where Sparrow took that 18 to 20 footer. It's all right.
Well, Scott had made 4 in a row until then and missed that one.
He's going to get this one, put us within 4.
And he does. So he's brought the Cats within 4, as you say. Benedict hustling down toward that paint once again. Draws up short, leaves it for Rule.
I don't know if you noticed, we lucked out. Raymond was down at the other end all by himself.
I didn't happen to see that, but I'm glad they didn't either. There he is now, though, up for the shot. No good, and the Wildcats can't stop him on the offensive rebound. And this time we're going to have Lindquist on the shot. I believe was going to be called for the personal, either Lindquist or Cotter. I believe it's. Well, I was not right on either one. It was Mark Schneider. Somebody down there fouled.
We didn't get our body on Raymond after he shot that first one, and he got that second, put it up, and then we didn't get the body on Sparrow. And you just cannot afford to do this at this stage of the game, especially if you're down.
Sparrow good on the shot, and so we now have a 7-point difference. Eric Webb across the timeline. Eric Webb into the paint, up for the shot. No good, and he too is going to be fouled. Well, we've had some breaks in terms of the fouls in the paint lately, Jeff. No baskets have gone down for us, but at least we have a chance from the line again.
Well, it'd be nice if Eric could have dropped that one and also got the 3-point at this end, but we just got to settle for the 2-point now and go down there and play good defense. Don't let them have the ball inside. Keep it outside.
Webb good on the first of 2.
Traditionally, Larry, the Eagles have not been a very a team that has been able to stay out inside, work to the inside. They want to pretty much shoot it whenever they get it. Undisciplined team, you might say. And I've been real impressed as the game's gone along, just how disciplined they have been.
Oh, absolutely, and I think that's a mark for Neil Beckwith. Like you say, they have in the past been somewhat undisciplined, and at least in our observation, and certainly Coach Beckwith has done an excellent job with this team. And you know, you mentioned that they hadn't worked the ball inside so much in the past, but they certainly have taken advantage of their height advantage against the Wildcats tonight. Bubba Raymond has just had one excellent, outstanding game.
Oh, he certainly has.
Benedict misses the front end of the bonus, so the Wildcats come away unscathed to their good fortune. Doug Schlaff to the paint, up for the shot. Can't get it to roll, and I think we're going to have the personal called on Rob Smith as he bumped into Benedict. Both boys went up for the rebound, and Smith came into the back.
And that's Rob's fourth. Well, it's getting down to nitty-gritty time, and now a lot of the fouls that weren't being called earlier are going to be called, I think, as I see right there, because I didn't think that was much of a foul, but it certainly was one. There wasn't one that was called earlier.
Benedict, 67% on the line for the season. Good on the first. Now the bonus. 13 6/10 points per game is his average, and that was an important one right there. 4:40 remaining. 61-55. Wildcats trailing by 6. Seldom have they found themselves down by 6 with this amount of time left in the fourth quarter. A real test of determination and skill here, Jeff, for the Wildcats at this point in time.
Just have to get themselves in 2 at a time, and they haven't done that. They've had a chance to get themselves in 3 a couple times and weren't able to polish it off.
A shot off the back of the rim by Schlaff. And of course the Eagles came away with the rebound again. And we're going to have a call this time on Buschberger against Benedict. Jeff, you know, we've been talking about the fact that the Wildcats are having a difficult time tonight. But I think we ought to turn around and give some credit, because part of the reason for that difficulty, a lot of the reason for the difficulty, has been the tenacity of the Oakridge team on both ends of the court. They've hustled all night long. They're certainly hitting a high percentage of their shots, excellent position.
We said right from the onset, Larry, that it was going to be a good ball team, a game, and that this Eagle crew is just an excellent ball team. And they've proven it all night long. They've just played excellent basketball. They've been up to every challenge that the Wildcats have thrown at them.
64-55 with 4:15 remaining in the ball game. Kevin Buschberger, inside it goes to Rob Smith, over the top, and Sparrow comes down with an Eagle rebound this time. And Rule passes it off to Benedict. 3:59. Under 4 minutes now, 64-55, 9-point difference in favor of the Eagles. Benedict driving the right baseline, brings it back out on top to Sparrow. Sparrow has the ball taken by Rob Smith on the inside that time as they were going inside. Lindquist from the outside over the top. Rob Smith in the right position that time for the rebound. Can't get it to drop, but he's fouled from the backside as he goes up for the shot.
Well, I don't know, Larry, how many times tonight we've had those layups just roll off, not quite fall in. And you count those up, I'm sure we're going to be right back into this thing. Right as it is, we're 9 points down. But again, I think it goes back to the Eagles' defense, too. They've just played excellent basketball.
They certainly have. You know, this Eagle team, Jeff, had a big win last Friday night.
And
the
a very
Vikings
big win.
Traveled down to Oakridge and found themselves coming up on the short end of a score. I don't remember the score, but I think it was 21 points difference.
I believe you're right.
76-55 or something like that. So the Eagles undoubtedly have shown great improvement since we saw them early in the season. Rob Smith misses the first, gets another attempt here. Chance to draw us within 8, and he does. 64-56, 8-point difference, 3:35 remaining. Robert Sparrow with the ball against Doug Schlaff. Rule over to Guzman, who came in at that last dead ball. We have a timeout, Oakridge. Jeff, I wouldn't be surprised, but what Coach Beckwith is going to tell his players to be real patient,
out of the ball.
Just make the Wildcats draw the foul, and just hang on to it. Not do anything silly at this point in time. 8 points up with 3:25 remaining is quite a good margin the way they've been playing tonight.
there's a lot of time still left on that clock, and this fourth quarter, as fast as the rest of the game has gone, is really kind of dragged, and that's been to the Wildcats' advantage. But I think what you're going to see, as you said, the air is going to come out of the ball, and the Eagles are only going to take the shot when they absolutely get an excellent opportunity for a lay-in or a short little jump shot.
Well, we've got a moment, fans. We'd just like to take a minute here to thank Mr. Steve Jones and the staff at C-Tech Cable Television, Channel 5. Right from the word go, when we've started our broadcasts 3 years ago, they've been very willing to cooperate with our requests for airtime. We appreciate that very much. Last night, if you tuned in to Channel 5, you would have seen the Montague Wildcats victorious in volleyball over the neighboring Vikings. And tonight, of course, we're on the air again. And so, thank you, Mr. Jones. Bushberger comes up with a steal. Shot is up, no good, and we're going to have a blocking foul. Blocking foul on Rule, I believe, as Kevin went up for the shot. Rule didn't get set.
And the way they pointed at it, it looked like Kevin was the one that was going to get the foul, but he was just telling Kevin that you're going to be on the line to shoot two. Good call by the officials. Excellent hustle by Kevin Bushberger.
Critical time here for Bushberger to sink to. Comes up a little short that time. Can still pull us within 7. 3:14 remaining. 64-56 is the score. A lot of pressure on this shot, Jeff. And Kevin comes through strong. Rule back to Sparrow. Sparrow doesn't want it.
Would you want it at this time of the game?
Probably not, no. Guzman, right side, guarded by Webb and Lindquist. Back to the top to Rule. Rule driving toward the paint once again. Back over the top to Guzman. Rule on top, looking inside. There's Guzman again. The Eagles using the same kind of man-to-man offense that the Wildcats are normally using. And the Eagles took some time off, 2:40 remaining. Get the ball back. Benedict. Benedict in the paint. No good. Comes to Rob Smith. Ahead it goes to Bushberger. Bushberger has a shot blocked. Lindquist is going to be called for the foul. Shot was blocked from behind that time as Bushberger went up for the shot. Fans wanted a personal, but the official was right there on top of the play and didn't see it that way.
And the back official motioned that he got the ball.
Scott Lindquist draws his first foul of the evening. 2:27 remaining, 64-57. And Guzman will be at the line. Guzman shooting 77% from the line, from the free throw line for the year. Can't make that one go, but Latch comes up with an important rebound. And we're going to have a jump ball as Latch couldn't quite get it to drop.
And Montague is going to have the ball on the possession.
2:23 left on the clock. Ball comes inbounds to Lindquist. Back to Schlaff. Schlaff dribbling up court. Leaves it for Webb. Now the Wildcats need some quick points here. Something they haven't been able to get all night long. Lindquist from the outside now, looking in. I think they're trying to work inside to Smith. Up. Good. That time the Wildcats get the roll. 64-59.
And that's what I think they should have been doing all fourth quarter. In fact, all second half, Larry.
Back to 5 points. Latch with the ball.
Oh, almost a steal there.
Guzman back to Rule, who calls a timeout. 1:50 exactly remaining in the contest. 5-point difference, 64-59. And the Wildcats have their work cut out for them now. They've had that cut out for them all night long, but especially now. 5 points down with 1 minute and 50 seconds remaining.
Well, I'm sure that Coach Beckwith is now saying, listen, guys, we don't need any more points. We've got under 2 minutes. We get the ball. It's going to take them 2 threes. That's 2 possessions, or 3 possessions from the 2-point area. And we just don't need to shoot the ball if we've got it, again, unless we have an uncontested layup now. And if they can do that and hang on to the ball, which they've been pretty good at tonight.
They certainly have. I don't know what the turnovers are, but they certainly, at least on the offensive, when they've run from the set pattern, they haven't had an awful lot of turnovers. And the Wildcats, on the other hand, must be shooting just a horrendous percentage from the floor, Jeff.
Oh, it's got to be right around 25%, if that.
I would think so.
It's just, it is terrible.
Eagles have an excellent chance of knocking off the front runners in the West Michigan Conference. Bushberger against Rule. Now the Oakridge Eagles spread it out. It's four-corner offense now, something the Wildcats have used effectively from time to time throughout the season. Now the Eagles are using it. There's the foul on Bushberger against Benedict. Benedict is one of their better free throw shooters, Jeff, but we really have little choice now. We have to stop that clock.
What we have to be careful of, Larry, is that we don't get the intentional foul, that we go after the ball and make sure that we go after the ball if we're going to get that foul. Because if we get the intentional, they get 2 shots, plus they're going to get the ball back.
Benedict misses that shot. Lindquist comes down with a rebound, up for the shot. Can't make it roll. Rob Smith, good rebound and basket that time. Pulls the Wildcats within 3. We have 1 minute and 20 seconds left. Guzman guarded by Eric Webb and Schlaff. Guzman drops it off to Benedict. Benedict looking to go back outside. Timeout called by Benedict as the pressure was put on. He calls, I believe that's their 3rd timeout. 1:07 remaining. The Wildcats pull within 3.
Well, nice hustle rebound by Rob Smith. Got us back within 3.
The last personal error on the part of, I think it was Bushberger, really paid off for us. Though you don't know how that's going to turn out. It worked out for us that time, Jeff.
Well, you have to do that, and you have to hope for the best, and that's exactly what happened. And we're going to have to do it again. We're going to have to gamble, and if we don't get it, we're going to have to go for that foul and put them at the line. And then, again, hope they miss, come down and take advantage of it and put it in, draw again within 2, or excuse me, within 1. Or, maybe go for that 3. I wouldn't go for it right now. I'd go for the 2 and then hopefully get back in it that way. But, it gets down too close to that 0-0-0 mark. You're going to have to go for that 3 if you get that opportunity. That's the interesting thing about that 3-point play that came in a few years ago, Larry. 1 shot, 1 possession, you're right back in it. 4 or 5 years ago before that, it took 2 possessions to get you back in the ballgame at this point.
That's right. I think the Wildcats have only had 1, perhaps 2 3-pointers tonight. We remember Scott Lindquist had 1 off the glass early in the contest. I'm not sure about any others.
I'm not either.
Right now, we have to get the ball back. That's what we have to worry about. Lindquist guarding Rule. Bushberger. Rule. Guarded by Lindquist. There's Latch. Good. 65, 66, 61. 49 seconds remaining. Lindquist with the ball from the outside. Back it goes to Eric Webb. Driving the inside. No good. And that's Benedict with the rebound. Latch coming down. Good. 68-61. Oakridge. Eric Webb coming up court. Rob Smith from the outside, a 3-point shot. Short, and Latch gets the rebound. Jump ball is going to be called. 23 seconds left. 7-point difference, 68-61. Eagles are 23 seconds away from the upset of the year, probably. Wildcats lost their opening contest, of course, by 2, 45-43 to the Vikings, but haven't lost since.
Eagles have played it very smart down the stretch.
Guzman with the ball, dribbling, taking some time off, 15 seconds. Benedict, there's going to be a foul on Bushberger with 13 seconds remaining. Wildcats still trailing by 7, 68-61. Benedict going to be at the line. Well, last time Benedict missed it, but he hasn't done that consistently all season long, so all we can do is hope, I guess, if you're a Wildcat fan.
He's played an excellent floor game tonight. Got the crucial points when he's needed. And there's, no.
Eric Webb across the timeline. Eric goes up for the 3. No good. Rob Smith can't control it. Out of bounds it goes to Montague. 6 seconds remaining. Still a 7-point difference. Ball is thrown out of bounds by Eric Webb, who thought Rob Smith was going to be there, and instead the ball goes right straight by him. And
well, Larry, it was a good effort by the Wildcats, but
4 seconds.
Just wasn't meant to be.
I guess it wasn't, Jeff. 4 seconds remaining, and Bushberger fouls from behind as Rule goes up for the shot. Going to give him 2 shots, not call it an intentional foul, I guess. That's the 5th personal on Kevin Buschberger. Mark Schneider will replace him. Buschberger getting a nice hand. Buschberger hustled all night long, Jeff, as he always does.
I was going to say, as he always does.
Well, Wildcat fans are going to be disappointed, of course, but on the other hand, they still will have an excellent record, both overall and in the conference.
And I think the other thing you have to remember, Larry, we've lost the ball game, but we haven't lost the war. The war is the conference title, and we're still in the lead.
That's correct.
You know, it's unfortunate, but maybe this will get us back on track. Maybe this will get us thinking we got to play a little bit better ball.
Could well be. 69-61 with 3 seconds now remaining. Eric Webb over to Schneider from the outside. Good. It counts. It does count, I believe. Makes the final score. Montague 69. Wildcats 64. Well, Jeff, the Wildcats go down to defeat at the hands of an excellent ball team tonight. We can't help but compliment Coach Neil Beckwith and his Oakridge Eagles for the game they played this evening. They made fewer mistakes than the Wildcats did. They were more patient on offense. They certainly had a better shot selection than did the Wildcats, and they deserve to win this game.
Yeah, I guess that's the bottom line. I think they deserve to win the ball game. The way things were played, the Wildcats just couldn't seem to get things going, and the Eagles just kept on putting pressure on the Wildcats, And even though the Wildcats came back at times, made little spurts and little tiny runs, they never could really put anything together collectively for a period of time. And with that, they suffer their 2nd loss of the season.
Well, Jeff, the Eagles scored 69 points tonight. We mentioned at the top of the contest that the Eagles were scoring in a 79-point clip. So the Wildcats held them 10 points under their season average, which speaks well for the defense of the Cats. Even though, on the other hand, our opponents coming into tonight's game had averaged altogether 58 points per game. So there's a balance both ways there. On the other hand, the Cats scoring their 64 points were a little bit under their average of about 69 per game. So they weren't quite on their offense, as we mentioned all night long.
Well, their offense certainly was not clicking tonight, and they just couldn't get them to drop. And we've got better shooters than that. Every one of the starting 5 and the kids coming off the bench just shoot a lot better than what we saw tonight. But I think Coach Jim Tate was probably going to be very disappointed in the defense. I think we just gave up a tremendous number of easy baskets in there tonight. Bubba Raymond lived right off the basket all night long, and we let people drive all the way to the basket without rotating over to the ball and then helping out. At times we did that, but we didn't do it often enough.
You're right, exactly, Jeff. I'm sure that will be seen on the films by our players and Coach Tate. And I'm sure that will be a point of concern that he'll address throughout the next practices. Well, you know, Jeff, we dropped this league contest. We travel to Grant next Tuesday night. Grant, of course, has some notoriety in Wildcat history, having given us a couple important defeats a couple years ago. The Grant Tigers, I believe it is. Grant Tigers have struggled this year, however. I think they won last Tuesday night, but compared to 2 years ago when they were such an excellent team, they've struggled, as a matter of fact, the last couple of games. So the Wildcats, or the couple of seasons that is, the Wildcats will travel over to Grant next Tuesday and hope to get back on the winning road.
Well, it should be an excellent opportunity for the Cats to come out, and if they want to, and I think this group of kids does. I think for the last 3 years we've had kids that really desire to play good on the court and look good and play together. I just think this was a bad game for them tonight. But I think it's an excellent opportunity for them to come out on Tuesday night and just play some excellent basketball, get their heads back on, and do the things that they know they can do and get their game back in order for the start of the conference season again next Friday night. Again, as I said, we're still in the lead in the conference. I believe we dropped back into tie with Whitehall, but still, you've got that chance for the conference title. And I think if you ask a lot of people at the beginning of the year, Larry, who they thought were going to be the conference titleists, having such a young ball team as we did, I think people thought maybe we were going to be up near the top, but I don't think anybody had us at the top at this point in the season. And I think that's just a credit to Coach Tate, and that's a credit to the kids, and credit to the program.
You're absolutely correct, Jeff. Interestingly enough, I just note here in our program, Jeff, that the next volleyball contest will be down at the home of the Eagles next Monday night, February 12th. Our volleyball girls, of course, coming off that league victory over Whitehall last Thursday night, looked strong in that contest. I didn't happen to see it myself as I was at another meeting, but I understand that the girls did an excellent job, played perhaps their most solid game of the season so far, and we wish them the best of luck down at Oakridge.
Well, I've heard the same things. Like, I haven't had an opportunity to come over and watch them, but I heard against a very, very strong North Muskegon squad last week. We played an excellent ball game, and I would really encourage our fans to come out and support those young ladies in their endeavor out here on the court. It's really nice to know we're really playing some nice, good, strong volleyball in this league, which usually has some very strong volleyball talent.
Indeed it does. And Jeff, we also want to give our best regards to the wrestling team as they conclude their season. We know that several of our wrestlers have had excellent seasons so far. Ruben Panetta, Jamie McElrath, and others have come on strong as the season's progressed. If you note in the paper, fans, when they publish the wrestling stats every so often in the Chronicle, that both Ruben Panetta and Jamie McElrath are up among the leaders in the whole county area, in fact, a regional area, and are just having good seasons. I believe there's something like 20-5, 20-6, somewhere in that neighborhood the last time I saw it. So we congratulate all our Wildcat athletic teams during the winter sports season here, and we just hope that the Wildcat basketball team gets back on track over against Grant on Tuesday night.
There's a lot of good effort out here tonight, Larry. Got a lot of good effort. It just didn't seem to be put in the right place at times, and if we can just get back to doing that, which we have done in other ball games, we're going to be all right.
Okay, Jeff, I think we're going to sign off for this time, and I think we're going to go down on court and see if we can get an interview opportunity. This time I think we're going to look for the victorious coach, Coach Neil Beckwith of the Eagles, and perhaps a couple of his players that had a good game for us tonight, for them tonight. So until that time, we'll sign off from the booth, and we'll see you later. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Montague High School fans. As you can see, we're standing on the court now for a post-game interview with a couple of the Oakridge Eagles players. Immediately to my left is Bubba Raymond, and to his left, Mike Benedict. Bubba's a junior in the Oakridge Eagle basketball program, and Mike Benedict is a senior. First of all, gentlemen, congratulations on your victory over the Wildcats tonight. Bubba, you're a junior, so you haven't played quite as long against the Wildcats at the varsity level, but how does it seem to be a victor in tonight's contest?
It was really good.
Have you been on the Wildcats track since 3 years ago when you first started playing?
Even as JV players, we had a hard time beating them. They got a really good basketball program.
Well, not only are they a good basketball program, but so are you. I've seen a tremendous improvement over not just the course of this season, but under the reign of Coach Beckwith, and he's done a good job with you guys. Mike, a senior you are, right? Well, this was one of your last attempts to get to the Wildcats. You won't see them in the district tournaments, at least, so this was about the last time you could get to them. How does it feel for you?
It's great. It's great because it's for our coaches. He hasn't won here yet, and it feels really good to win here.
Well, I'm sure it's also for you, as a senior, as you said, 3 long years that you've been at the varsity level, and this is kind of sweet. What are the things that you worked on this week as you prepared for the Wildcats, Mike?
The inside game we tried to work on a lot. And Coach been telling me to go to the hole a lot. Everyone drive the hole, and just play solid basketball. No turnovers like we did the first game. We had like 20-some turnovers the first game.
We talked about that your turnover ratio was way down, and that you really dominated the inside. You shut off the Wildcats from getting any second shots, and Bubba, you were mainly responsible for that. We had some block shots on the inside. What were some of the things that you worked on this week against the Wildcats in preparation for them?
Mainly going up strong. I've had a hard time going up strong more like I should.
Well, Bubba, you certainly did go up strong a lot of the times tonight. We don't know what your stats were. It's not really important since you beat the Wildcats anyway, I suppose. But it was impressive the way you were in position for not only the shots, so you had good shot selection underneath, but you also had good offensive and defensive board position. Did Coach Beckwith tell you anything special about how to play against the Wildcats inside for this week?
Just to place the body on anybody that's around me and back out.
Okay, we mentioned that several times, that's a real key to that inside game, and you certainly did an excellent job. What kind of support did you think you got tonight from the other big men underneath, Robert Sparrow and Ed Latch? They are nice players as well, and you seem to work well together.
Yeah, they had great rebounding and they driving and they pass, and it's really good.
I think as I watch you play tonight, I saw a mirror image of what the Wildcats have been in the last few years. You've played against Mike the last 2 years, and now again this year. They come out, they press, they look for the open man, and they're scrappy all over the place, and that seems to be what you guys have done. How can you describe that?
Well, our key was when Smith went out of the game, we went to a big lineup. And then we worked the ball inside because they didn't have anyone close to above his side, and that was the key, I think. Really, our points came off them a lot.
Mike, we commented during the broadcast that you seem, not just you, but all the guard people seem to head for the paint. And you say that Coach Benedict, Coach Beckwith indicated that should be a part of your game tonight. It worked very successfully. Why do you think that worked so well for you?
Is it something that Coach watched the films and saw something that we did in the film?
He figured it out in the first half. He saw that in the first half, and then in the second half we went at it and put a big lineup in, and then that worked.
I'd like to just ask you, especially Mike, although Bubba, you've been a part of this program since Coach Beckwith has been there. But 3 years ago when Coach Beckwith came in, you went through some trying times. You got rocked around, and you continue to play this style of basketball, and it's paid off. What has been the fan support, and what's been the change of attitude at school and around the community?
Our coach has been getting hassled a lot because we had a kid quit on our team, and then they want to take it to the board, and our coach, they want to take our coach in front of the board, you know, to really see if he's really doing his job or not. But I think he's really doing a good job. The fans got support, but you know, a player quit, and then he wants to won't take him to the school board.
But as this season's progressed, you've really shown that you can play, and this is the type of brand of ball that works.
Mike, or Bubba for that matter, but let's go to Bubba. Mike, you had the last one. We'll go to Bubba for this one, okay? Bubba, when we played you down there, it was close all the way through, just like it was tonight. But late in the fourth quarter, it seemed like Montague just had a little bit of extra energy and a little bit of extra concentration. Did you talk about that game from the early part of this season before you entered tonight's contest? And did Coach Beckwith give you any special clues as to what the difference could be in tonight's game?
Just playing hard and turnovers, yeah. And rebounding was a big thing that he wanted us to do on this. Yeah. Rebounding and turnovers was the key thing.
Okay, well, gentlemen, we appreciate you being with us tonight. And good luck, unless you're playing against us again sometime, of course. But we wish you the best of luck for the remaining contests of the season, guys. Okay? Good job tonight.
As you go along in the rest of the season.
And we look forward to seeing you again, okay?
Right,
you go right on out that way, okay? Well, Mr. Peterson, I think we're going to try and get Coach Neil Beckwith in here for a second. If we can. By golly, out of the corner of my eye, I see Coach Beckwith. All right. Coach, congratulations. Come right on in here.
Coach, Jeff Peterson, congratulations.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Well, Coach, does this seem sweet? The first time you've come here to Montague with a W in the column, isn't it?
Well, it's the first time we beat Montague since I've been here, and that's a very big accomplishment for us because, you know, we feel like Montague is a real class team. And if we can beat them, then at least we feel like we're doing some things right. So.
Well, Coach, it seems to us that you've had tremendous improvement with your team since last we saw you down in Oakridge. What's been the secret to that improvement as the season progressed?
Well, chemistry, I think, is the biggest thing that we try to work out. And early in the season, we had a lot of talent, but we really struggled to find out who to put on the floor and who played well together. The guys are just really learning how to play with each other. They're getting some experience. Hey, we got 4 guys out of our starting lineup from last year that aren't back this year, so it took us a few games to get rolling.
What were the keys, do you think, tonight's ball game? Well, as you progress through the game, it looked like you changed some things as things went on.
Well, we tried. We had talked about Montague's pressure, which they like to pressure the ball, and if you sit back, we feel like you're in trouble. So we said, good or bad, we're going to make something happen. So we said we're going to attack the basket. So early in the game, thankfully, Mike Benedict came on and made his first 5 or 6 shots and kept us going while Montague was hitting. And then when Montague slowed down, we tried to go inside with the ball.
Well, Coach, we don't know what your percentage was, but especially early in the game, we commented on the air about Benedict, as a matter of fact. Everything seemed to be going in for you, and unfortunately for the Wildcat fans, nothing was happening for them quite right. But it's your team that caused that. You had good pressure defense yourself, and excellent, excellent rebounding position. That has to be a real pleasure for you to see that, that inside strength.
Well, I have to give all the credit to the kids because they decided that they were going to try to rebound and make some things happen. We did go to a big lineup tonight, which we hadn't done much of. We had Latch and Robert Sparrow and Bubba Raymond in the game at the same time, and we had hoped to be able to control the rebounding, and we did a pretty good job. I was pleased with that. The other thing that allows us to do is pressure the outside shot and not have to help so much down low.
Another thing that we commented on was the kind of what you said earlier in the interview here, and that is that you attacked the basket. You made excellent use of the paint tonight. From the outside, the guards drove all night long, and unfortunately for the Wildcat fans, we didn't seem to be able to stop that.
Well, you know, we had worked all week. We had been aiming for this game a little bit, and we had worked a lot on our on breaking the press and trying to get some baskets off of the press, and that's pretty much what got us some shots in the paint. We shot 65% in the first half, and when the ball's going through the basket, everything seems to look good. You know, that's just the way it goes.
Okay.
What do you have in store as the season progresses? Who do you have coming up now?
Well, we've got some tough teams left. We've got to go up to Mason County. We've got North Muskegon left. But we feel good about what we've been able to accomplish because we lost to Montague Whitehall early in the season. We lost to Shelby early, about midway through the season. We've been able to win 6 games in a row now, and we're feeling good about that, just that we're playing well. You know, we still have to hope that, I guess, not to say anything against the Wildcats, we got to hope for another loss in there somewhere.
Well, you have to feel very proud of your kids, though. You've knocked off the top 2 teams in the league in the last 2 weeks. You can't ask for much more motivational importance to games than that.
Well, it's like I said, with these kids, I love to work with them, and they're very satisfying players. They work really hard. I'm just glad to see their success. This was a big game for 3 of my kids who have been with me since I've come to Oakridge 3 years ago. They've never beaten Montague, and the only team in the conference we haven't been able to get a win with, and that's a big game for them.
Well, you know, Neil, you talk about the success of your kids, and that's what we're all here about, and it's very important for them. But I have to congratulate you on your success at the Oakridge program. When you came there, I know it was tough. You went through some hard times at the beginning, and you stuck with the program, you stuck with the kids, and the kids stuck with you. Mm-hmm. And I think that says a lot about you, and I congratulate you for doing that, and congratulate on a super season you're having, and a fantastic victory tonight by your kids and you.
Well, thank you very much.
Congratulations, Coach. We look forward to seeing you again at another time, perhaps, okay? Good luck to you the rest of the way, okay? Why don't you go right on out that way, and we'll be all set here, okay? But there you have it, fans. Interview with 2 of the important cogs of the Oakridge Eagles' victory in tonight's contest, along with Coach Neil Beckwith. And Jeff, you said some real good things about Coach Beckwith there in the conclusion of the interview, and well-deserved. Coach Beckwith is a fine coach, and he has stuck well with that program, and we wish him the best of luck.
Well, you know, I think credit's due where it's due, I guess that's the way of saying it. And, you know, he certainly has worked hard with these kids. He's brought that program back. He's done an excellent job with them. He represents the school and district well, and I'm just tickled to death that he's doing well and his kids are doing well. And they represent our conference so well.
Okay, well, fans, I think that's about it from the floor of Montague High School, where the final score of tonight's contest was the Oakridge Eagles 69, the Montague Wildcats 64. We thank you for joining us, and we ask you to return again for our next broadcast. Watch CTEC Cable Channel 5 for the advertisements for when those will be on, and we hope you'll join us at that time. Once again, we thank CTEC Cable for the opportunity to broadcast with you, and so until next time, this will be Larry Lindquist along with
Jeff Peterson
saying good night from Montague High School.